Did you know? Many languages and dialects are slowly going extinct. Right now, out of 7,000 languages spoken worldwide, nearly half are at risk of extinction. In fact, experts predict that by 2100 up to 90% could vanish. Most of these languages are spoken by tiny communities, sometimes just a few hundred people. Globalization, economic pressures, and even climate change are speeding up this loss. But here's the kicker. When a language dies, we lose ancient stories, unique ideas, and even local secrets about nature. The good news? Communities and linguists are fighting back with apps, classes, and digital archives. So next time you hear an unfamiliar language, remember, it's not just words, it's a world worth saving. Did you know? It's illegal to share an image of the Eiffel Tower at night, but only for professionals. The Eiffel Tower itself? Totally fair game in daylight. Gustav Eiffel's copyright expired ages ago. But when night falls and the tower bursts into that glittering light show, that's a whole different story. The sparkling lights were designed in 1985 by Pierre Bedeau, and under French copyright law, they're protected until 2091. So if you're just a tourist snapping pics for Instagram, post away. But if you're a pro or a brand hoping to sell or advertise with those dazzling night shots, you'll need permission from the Eiffel Tower's managers or risk a legal headache. Wild, right? Did you know? Your house pet will probably eat your dead body. If a person passes away at home and isn't found for days, their dogs or cats might actually nibble on them. Yep, Fido and Whiskers are adorable until survival instincts kick in. Why? Hunger mostly. Pets get desperate if trapped without food. Sometimes they try to wake their owner, nosing, licking, even biting. When that doesn't work, instinct takes over. Forensics show cats often start with the nose or lips. Easy access. Dogs usually wait longer, sometimes guarding, but hunger wins eventually. It's not betrayal, just biology. Remember, this is super rare, and your pet is still your best bud. But maybe keep their food bowl topped up, just in case. Did you know? Iceland's landmass grows 5 centimeters per year. Iceland is parked right on top of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, where two massive tectonic plates are slowly drifting apart. Picture the North American and Eurasian plates doing the world's slowest breakup, about 5 centimeters or 2 inches farther apart every year. There's also a volcanic hotspot bubbling below, so when the plates pull apart, magma surges up and cools off, creating brand new land. Iceland is basically building itself from scratch. Want to see this geological flex in real life? Head to Thingvellir National Park, where you can walk, or even snorkel, between the continents and the Silfra Fissure. It's the only place on Earth where you can literally float between two tectonic plates. Did you know? Your ears never stop growing. Unlike your bones, which call it quits in your early 20s, the cartilage in your ears keeps changing for life. Over time, that cartilage loses its springy firmness, so your ears get softer, and gravity tugs them downward. That's why your earlobes might look a bit longer as you age. In fact, scientists found that ears can lengthen about 0.5 millimeter every year. And get this, men's ears tend to grow a bit more than women's, and they start off longer too. So next time you spot a wise old owl, or your uncle, remember, those big ears are just nature's way of keeping things interesting. Did you know? There are more than 300 corpses on Mount Everest. Everest is littered with stories that never made it back down. Above 8,000 meters in the infamous death zone, the air is thin, the cold is relentless, and every step is a battle. Hauling a frozen body down? Nearly impossible. It's dangerous, risky, and can cost more than a sports car. That's why many bodies stay where they fell. Some even serve as eerie trail markers like the famous green boots. Each one is a stark reminder. Everest isn't just a mountain, it's a survival test. So next time you hear about someone conquering Everest, remember, nature always has the final say. Did you know? Your coffee mug probably has fecal matter on it. Studies by microbiologists have found that up to 20% of office mugs carry coliform bacteria, an indicator of, you guessed it, fecal contamination. But don't point fingers at your coworkers just yet. The real culprit? Those well-meaning but rarely cleaned communal sponges and dishcloths. They're basically bacteria hotels, spreading germs from mug to mug. And let's face it, not everyone is nailing their hand-washing routine after the restroom. Quick rinse? Sorry, it won't cut it, especially if you use cream or sugar, which just feeds the bacteria more. The good news, you can beat the bugs. Bring your own mug and take it home daily. Wash with hot soapy water, skip the shared sponge, and dry it well. And remember, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. So next time you sip your office brew, just think, clean mug, happy gut. Cheers! Did you know? Baby elephants sometimes suck on their trunks for comfort. When baby elephants feel sleepy, anxious, or just need a little comfort, they'll often suck on their trunks, kind of like how toddlers rely on pacifiers. It's their way of self-soothing, especially if they're stressed or missing their mom. But it's not just about comfort. Their trunks are wildly complicated, packed with over 40,000 muscles. By sucking and fiddling with their trunks, calves are also practicing control, learning to master their most important tool for eating, drinking, and splashing around. Sometimes they do it simply out of boredom, because hey, what else is a baby elephant supposed to do when nap time's over? As they grow up and gain more trunk skills, this behavior fades, but every now and then, even an adult elephant might give their trunk a thoughtful nibble. So next time you spot a baby elephant trunk sucking, just know, it's a sign of a happy, healthy, and totally normal little elephant. Did you know? Bees can sting other bees. Bees are famous for defending their hive, but sometimes things get a little buzzier. Guard bees post up at the hive entrance, sniffing out intruders. If a rival bee from another colony tries to rob their honey, it's game on. A sting can settle the score, and it doesn't stop there. Queen bees, especially bumblebees, will face off in a literal fight for the throne. Winner takes all, loser gets stung. There are even cuckoo bees that invade other nests. The hosts, they'll sting the intruder to protect their home. Unlike when they sting mammals, bees can often sting other insects and live to tell the tale. So next time you see a bee, remember, it's not all sweet nectar and flowers. Sometimes it's a real-life bee battle royale. Did you know? It is common for children to hear voices. Research shows that up to 1 in 6 kids might hear voices at some point. Most of the time, it's just their imaginations running wild. Think imaginary friends, fantasy play, or even talking to themselves in their heads. Stress, lack of sleep, or even a fever can make these voices pop up, and usually they fade away on their own. But if the voices get mean, tell the child to do dangerous things, or just won't go away, that's when it's time to check in with a pro. For most kids, it's all part of growing up, and not a sign of something serious. So, next time you hear about a kid with a vivid imagination, remember, it's more normal than you think. Did you know? Finland has more saunas than cars. In a land of about 5.5 million people, there are over 3 million saunas. That's nearly 1 sauna for every 1.6 humans. Meanwhile, there are only about 2.8 million passenger cars on Finnish roads. In Finland, the sauna is life. It's a centuries-old tradition used for relaxing, socializing, and even giving birth back in the day. 90% of Finns hit the sauna at least once a week, usually on Saturdays, and when it's time to cool off, they'll plunge into an icy lake or roll in the snow. In the sauna, everyone's equal. No status, no titles, just pure loyally steam. No wonder Finland's sauna culture made the UNESCO World Heritage List. Did you know? Crocodilians are able to significantly increase their stomach acid production when they eat. Crocodilians, crocodiles, alligators, and caimans, have a freaky fast way of making stomach acid. When it's mealtime, their heart reroutes blood full of carbon dioxide straight to their stomach. That CO2, it's like rocket fuel for acid production. In fact, their acid making is 10 times faster than any mammal, dropping their stomach pH to a scorching 1.2. That's strong enough to melt bones, and even hooves talk about hardcore digestion. Why the super acid? Well, crocs eat huge, rare meals, sometimes nearly a quarter of their body weight, so they need to break down everything quickly before it rots. Plus, this acid bath keeps nasty bacteria away and helps them bounce back after a wild hunt. So next time you see a crocodile, remember, the real bite is happening in their belly. Did you know? Ancient Rome used to tax human urine. Here's why: human urine was a hot commodity in ancient Rome thanks to its ammonia. Roman laundries, called philoniki, soaked dirty clothes in vats of stale urine to clean and whiten them. Laundry slaves even stomped on your tunics with their bare feet, so, let's hope you liked your toga extra fresh. But wait, there's more. Urine was used to tan leather, bleach fabrics, fertilize crops, and, brace yourself, some folks even gargled it for whiter teeth. It was so valuable, Emperor Vespasian slapped a tax on public pee pots. When his son complained, Vespasian shrugged, money doesn't stink. So next time you take a bathroom break, just remember, you could be sitting on Roman gold. Did you know? Popcorn was banned from many movie theaters in the 1920s and early 1930s. Back in the 1920s, movie theaters were all about elegance and class. Think velvet seats, ornate carpets, and absolutely no snacks allowed. Theater owners feared that popcorn's crunch and mess would ruin their fancy vibes and annoy their highbrow guests, especially during silent films. But everything changed with the arrival of talkies movies with sound. Suddenly theaters were filled with a much bigger, more diverse crowd, all looking for affordable fun during the Great Depression. Enterprising street vendors set up popcorn carts outside theaters selling cheap, delicious popcorn to hungry moviegoers. Eventually, struggling theaters realized selling popcorn was their ticket to survival. Those buttery profits saved the day, and popcorn took its place as the ultimate movie snack. Like and subscribe for more fun facts.